In this short video, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about transferring your image into your gridded space. This isn't going to be very long, but something I also came up with is if you don't want all of these lines visible, because you're going to have to erase them later, then create a grid on a separate piece of paper that's the size you need, tape it to your window, put a clean sheet of paper on top, and then trace from grid to grid. You'll be able to see the grid through it, and then just trace on top. And that will relieve you from having to erase all these lines when you're done. So if you've never done one of these, the trick is to take each thing a block at a time and draw what you see in that block. The easiest thing is to sort of look at the negative space. Look at where you think the line or edge starts and stops within the block, and then do somewhat of a contour line drawing. What I like to do is make a mark at where the line starts and approximately where I know the line is going to end as it leaves the paper. And then once I've got that, I do a light drawing. Don't want anything too heavy. That sort of follows that contour line, aiming to get to the point where I entered. If I have more than one edge, I have this edge and I have this one, then again I look at the negative space, once I have everything in place and I'm looking at it more as a whole rather than individual blocks, I can make more defined changes. This is just to kind of get everything in place, especially if you have a complex subject. And I work, kind of block to block. Don't try to jump ahead of yourself too much. Just look for all those connections. See shadows and shapes. Okay, so I've got to watch this. Oh, yeah, there I go. So I'm connecting to what I've already previously drawn. Let's say I missed something in this drawing when it's, then fine. Once I get it pulled back and I'm looking at the whole thing, then I can add more details because at least I'll know where they're going. Sometimes it's a little hard in big pictures at the very beginning. So again, I'm going to come in. I'm always looking at the negative spaces. What's happening? What's the shape? How far down? Those are the kinds of questions I'm asking myself. Can you get lost? Yeah, sure you can. But that's okay. So I'm going to come up here. One of the things I'm very conscious of is the edge. What is that edge doing? Every little turn and twist the edge is making, I'm trying to make. So this is a really good negative and positive contour line exercise. And I just continue to work all the way through. Now, one of your options was to add text. I mean, excuse me, not the text, but the pixels. So let's say I wanted to create an area, let's say this one, and I wanted to break that down. And maybe that's not the best choice. Let's pick something else. Let's pick this area of the drawing, which would be this block right here. And let's say I wanted to have that all in pixels. I would simply divide my space using a ruler, would probably be much wiser, so that I got a more even distribution, but you'll get the idea. So let's say that now becomes my pixels. And within that, I will just simply shade. I won't see any of these lines. It will just be these blocks or boxes of values that are similar to the values that I see in this block right here. So that's how I would handle that. So just remember, if you're choosing to do that you're breaking up option, then you won't draw the lines into that block or any of the blocks that you plan to break up. This may be a few more pixels than I really would want. That's a lot to fill in, but you know, what you might actually find with that many pixels is that a very vague, blurry version of whatever is there will start to show up. So if I took that, I would divide this block kind of similarly and then regroup and redraw the values that I kind of see in that area. So there is your little quick demonstration for our final project.